All right, so Leslie Maxie.
Yes.
I'm so excited you said yes.
I always say yes to you. Everybody says yes to Sandra.
Yes. Okay, so Leslie and I do go back. Leslie, I don't have a lot of time for the cameras to be able to share our personal relationship, but I do want for you to share with our students who you are and go back to the things that, you know, excite us all, and then share with us what you're doing today.
Okay. My name is Leslie Maxie. I'm a 1988 US Olympian, and I own a media company.
What sport?
I was a 400 hurdler, track and field. Yeah, young and dumb. But I actually started in television when I was 9 years old. And Sandra and I know each other because she had a TEDx talk to do, and she had her own little TED guy coming.
Oh.
And I coached her to her first TEDx, and it was really fun. She brought it.
She pushed me to do so. But we also met at a networking event for the female quotient, and there were not too many women that looked like us. So I saw Leslie, she's stunning. So of course I was curious, and that sparked a relationship that is now a few years in the making.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so now tell us about your work with coaching athletes, celebrities, leaders to become prepared for broadcast, because you went from being an Olympian to, yes, you started television at 9, but also preparing athletes and everyone else for television. Tell us about that.
Well, I found that as a reporter, I was a reporter for Fox Sports, for ESPN, CBS, NBC. NBC was the first network I worked for when I was a kid. And I found that when I sat down with people and they're getting the lights ready, doing the microphone, that it was a good opportunity to connect with them and get an understanding of what they knew about television. And even in interviews that were going to be a little bit more tense, contentious, if somebody knows the infrastructure of television, the chances that they'll be able to have a level of comfort and then bring themselves fully to the interview go up exponentially. And so I saw that when I shared with somebody, hey, we're doing a package, and in a package, I'm really not going to be on camera. So you answer the question in a complete sentence, and then I'll do my stand-up and my bridge, but it's really about you. And I could see them like rise up in confidence. So when I worked on an ESPN show, there was a Super Bowl champion who remained nameless, and he came to me and he said, I want to do what you're doing. I want to be able to write, report, anchor, correspond out in the field. And he said, how did you learn? I said, well, I've been doing it since I was 9 years old. And he said, would you look at the things that you're doing and figure out how you can teach it to me? And it was a great challenge because I looked at the things and I kind of deconstructed it and then constructed it in a way that became my first curriculum. And so the curriculum that I have taught around the world is called The Speaker in You. There's a speaker in every single one of us. And the reason why it's a speaker in you is that I'm not trying to bring anything out of Sandra that's not already there. I mean, and she is like the full package. But what I'm trying to do is help her to figure out and really land her secret sauce, help her to come to the stage with a level of confidence so that she can shine and be everything that she was intended to be, to really embody the speaker that she envisioned. And so I've done that with athletes, executives, and activists and influencers around the world for the last 20-some years.
Impressive, right? So impressive. Also, I have to note, sitting next to Leslie, I see how she holds the mic, and I'm known to say I'm formally informal. I always say that, but she holds the mic a certain way. Her posture is a certain way. So I love that, and I love to be around her because I notice all the things. Also, I was coached by Leslie, so I know all the things I don't do as well. Okay, so back on track. Okay, so for our students, you coach people to show up on camera, but also to show up as their best speaker selves in the public. Why is this important?
It's important because we are a very superficial society, which is unfortunate, but it's true. And we can't act like it's not true. And so that connection that you make with somebody the very first time it sticks. It sticks.
First
And
impressions.
The first impression, yeah, it means so much. And so if you understand how you can bring your story in a very short bite, it gives you a level of confidence. It allows you to engage with people, to look them in the eye, and to share that thing about you that's going to help them to connect. It's about connecting deeply and quickly. If you can do that on a stage, it doesn't matter if you're talking to someone for 3 minutes or 30 minutes. You got them. And that's the piece.
Connecting deeply and quickly, and in entrepreneurship that is critical, because I say every interaction is an opportunity to prove value, and you're constantly interviewing. So you may not know that you're there for an opportunity, because there's opportunity in every opportunity, but it's an opportunity to show up for you don't know, but it could be something.
Yeah.
All right, so staying motivated is difficult. The work that you do can be viewed as intense, stressful. The people that you may work with could lead to stressful conversations, situations, projects. How have you stayed motivated, and how do you stay motivated?
Okay. I stay motivated because I believe in what I'm doing. I have been gifted. This is part of my mission. It's part of why God has me here. And to be able to walk in that gift, I try and look at it as an 85-15 split. If 85% of what I do, I love, and I would do it for free, and I don't advocate that for anybody, particularly Black women. But if in my heart I know I really love this, it's an energy exchange. And 15% I tolerate, I'm winning. Now, that 15% I think I used earlier with somebody could be, I don't like doing expense reports. But when I see that bottom line, I'm like, yes! So those things really help you to grow your business. They help you to show up in a way that honors who you've been created to be. And that 15% can be something like you mentioned, business operations. I am not naturally an ops person, but it's something that I've learned, and I've learned to refine and really become excellent in that space. Excellent meaning outstanding or very good. And if I can do that, it helps everything else in my business. It helps the things that I love. If I can become excellent at the things that I tolerate, it helps the things that I love.
Okay, so these are quick conversations, but there's something I do want to double click on. Okay. So you mentioned you would do this work for free, although you don't advise that for anyone, but you are also speaking to passion and doing purposeful but passion-driven work. Yeah. How can we turn passion into profitable work?
Operationalize it. You turn your passion into something that's profitable when you look at it like a business, look at it objectively. What things do I do well? What things do I really need support in? And what things can I maybe partner with someone from a strategic perspective? So we're collaborating. I'm maybe doing some coaching for them on the side, and they're coming in and looking through my books. There are a lot of different things as entrepreneurs. I have strategic business partners. I own a media company. I train people who need media training. I train one-to-one keynote speakers. I train corporations. I train NFL football teams. I train Olympians. So all of these different people have different needs. And if I can bring in my strategic business partners to do something particularly that either I'm not gifted in or it's not a good use of me in my genius space, if I can be in collaboration with people so that I'm bringing people to the conversation, that can help to move my business forward, I find that's something that's really, really helpful. And it allows me to be in my passion in a meaningful way while still moving the things forward where I'm maybe not as gifted or I don't have time to do, or it's not a good use of my time. So collaboration, I think, is a really important thing for entrepreneurs.
Yes, I think you're also a great example of a professional athlete who also created a career for herself in television. So for our athletes who believe that how you will make money is by that sport in particular, I think it's also important to think about the ways that you can leverage the sport to also create a career for yourself. Yeah. Anything you want to share about that?
That's one of my favorite things. I love to talk to young people about what is available to them in the constellation of sports, because people think, oh, if I'm not out there throwing the football or hitting the, that I'm not really participating. There's a lot of ways that you can participate. Marketing, PR, general counsel, you can be in media, a lot of different ways that you can continue to be connected to your sport, but it starts in the classroom. It starts by being an excellent student, because that allows you to have opportunity, to have connection, to have doors open for you. It's like catnip to me. If a young person comes up and says, this is what I'm interested in doing and I don't know how to get there. And then I'm like, whoa, because I may not know everything, but I pretty much know everybody. and putting them in contact with someone that can help them to achieve their dreams. If you can be clear about what it is you believe you want to do, or you say, look, I love football, but I'm 5'7" and 110 pounds. I'm not going to be a running back. What can I do? I'm really looking at it seriously. I will brainstorm with you to help you figure it out, because there's so much more behind the velvet curtain that most young people don't see, that most people don't see. And having worked in Formula One, in NASCAR, in track and field, in the Olympics, I've covered all 5 major championships. The Super Bowl, the World Series, FIFA championships, the bike one. You know the one. Yeah. And NCAA championships and all-star games. And those things, it was very intentional, because a lot of times if you have a skill in a particular sport, they're automatically going to want to funnel you there. I'll only do analyst work in track and field. I'm not going to be up there analyzing football, but I have covered the Super Bowl and I have been the beat reporter for many teams. And being intentional to say, I want to spread my wings and I'm going to come with a level of knowledge. Tour de France, that's what it was. I'm going to come with a level of knowledge. Then it allows someone to have faith in you and to be able to sit down with someone one-to-one and say, I know what it feels like to strap on the shoes and go out there and put my ass on the line, frankly. What that does is it opens up a relationship and a conversation that really can help your viewers to know something that they maybe couldn't have known before that time. So yeah, I love to have that conversation with young people, to step outside of their comfort zone of what they think they want to do. If they want to be connected to sports, there are 1,000 different ways to do it.
Okay, that is going to lead to a longer conversation. What we are going to talk about more with Leslie is that she doesn't need to know everything, but she may know the people to reach out to. And that is speaking to your relationships and your connections, and also the power of networking. The other thing I want to highlight is that you were at all of those sporting events without being on the court or on the field. That's powerful. And having access to all of them. So if you are an athlete, there are many ways to remain involved in the sport without having to actually play the sport. And with that, I want to say thank you for sharing with us how we can all power our potential.
Power is key.